Hi everyone. I'm recording a really short video because I get a lot of people reaching out and saying, Jeff, can you help me find a job? And for the record, my network is not job focused. I recognize this is one of the Jekyll and Hyde moments when it comes to LinkedIn. There are two very distinct communities. One is obviously the job hunting community where people are either looking for jobs or looking to hire people. And then there's the community that I live in, which is visionary leaders, founders, entrepreneurs who are using this for business. So when people come to me and say, Jeff, who can you connect me with? Um, I want to help. I really do. And unfortunately, I have so many hours in the day and I'm busy building my network. And I thought, well, what if I just did a quick little video so that if somebody needs it, they've got it. And that way people can share it, don't share it. But if somebody asks me for help and says, Jeff, help me find a job, I'm going to send them to this video because I believe this is my best advice. And I just want to say, for clarity, I am 100% certifiably, verifiably unemployable. I don't care about jobs. I don't want a job. I will never take a job. And I say never because I know that I just don't want to be in a job. I have a lot of entrepreneurial ideas. I'm always building something. In a corporate structure, we are seen as chaotic and crazy. So I don't want to do that. But I recognize that at some point in life, and there are people out there who would like nothing more than to have a job. So I'm going to show you if I wanted a job, how I would do it. Now, I want to be clear, I don't want a job, so please don't reach out offering to help me find a job. I'm doing this to help young people. I love mentoring, and I only have so many hours in the day, so this is how I mentor. So I'm going to play pretend, and I'm going to say, let's pretend I want to go work at NVIDIA. Now, from a personal point of view, I love the company as an inspiring space. I'm fascinated to see what they're doing. Again, I wouldn't be employable there. No offense to Jensen and his team, but I'm going to just happily follow. So I'm a job seeker. I'm young and I want to find a job. Now, there's three things you need to know. First of all, I get a lot of people reaching out to me saying, Jeff, I'd like some job in some industry, in some place, help. So the three things: don't ask your network to figure out who you are. So you need to know what jobs you're capable of, what jobs you want to apply for, where you want to apply for them. So what are you applying for? Where? And you also need to know roughly what industry, what sector, what job category, because I get a lot of people saying, I'll take any job. Well, the problem with looking for any job is I can throw you 100 of those and say, I gave you 100 possible jobs. Why didn't you take them? And you're going to say, well, they're all based in Bangladesh and I don't want to commute. Okay. So here's the thing: pretend your network is like a massive computer and you want to program it so that it can give you good results, clear results. So clarity wins in job hunting just like it does in life. So you want to be clear. I have a dear friend who is going through a bit of a job hunt. They gave me a list of 30 companies. They gave me a list of a dozen job descriptions and said, Jeff, this is what I'm working for, what I'm looking for. How can you help me find this? And so my immediate results, my immediate brain went to, I'm going to record a video and show you what I would do because it helps. So this person did a lot of work. I'm not naming names because I don't want to out them. But as you can see, a lot of my connections follow NVIDIA. And so what I do, the very, very, very first thing I do is I'll come up with a list of companies that I want to work for. And so that narrows it down to sort of geography, to sector. You're targeting things, and think of it like you're focusing a lens, and you're getting clearer and clearer and clearer on how people can help. So if you can get as clear as saying, I want to work at NVIDIA, my brain goes, oh, who do I know? And so if I was to say, somebody came to me and said, I want to work at NVIDIA, I would click in my existing connections and see who I know that already work there. Now, these are all people who are connected. I'm guessing, given NVIDIA might not be the best example, because I'm guessing a lot of these people orbit the mothership rather than work there, but that's okay. So first things first, what I do, I start a spreadsheet and I'll list the companies that I would like to work for. And by the way, if anybody tells you to spray and pray and send 1,000 resumes a day, I'm not that guy, and I would not give you that advice. I'm more of the single shot, pick the ones that you want to work for and put your thoughts and heart and soul into it, and target it. So I'm very specific, I'm very targeted. So if I wanted to work at NVIDIA, the very, very first thing I would do, and I click on, so go to the website, or the LinkedIn page. And by the way, everything I talk about is on LinkedIn. So obviously this is on LinkedIn. You go to the page and you follow the company. And you'll see that NVIDIA has 5 million plus followers, and they have a lot of posts. So if you want to work at a company, and by the way, if you're young and in tech, NVIDIA should be on your radar. I want to know what this company cares about. And more importantly, I want to know who is following this company and what they care about. So I start by following, and then I click on the notifications. And I may live to regret this. I don't know how active a company like NVIDIA is, but I am interested in AI. So I'm going to, if you want to work at a company, set the notifications to all. And so you get that little double bell. So now every time somebody posts through the NVIDIA page, I'm going to get a notification about it. So that's helpful. Now, the other thing I would say, and again, this is kind of obvious, but I want to point it out. If they're hiring, there's almost always, when you go to the company page, there's always a home page, there's always an about, always a posts. And I'm going to show you something with this URL in a minute. Some have jobs, some don't. But if I wanted to work at NVIDIA, it's good to know that there's 3,893 postings. So if you want to say you're interested, you can. Again, nothing hurts. I wouldn't say no to it. But you can browse their jobs. And seriously, this is where people don't do the work, and it pains me. If you don't know what you're applying for, don't expect NVIDIA to figure out where you fit. So come here, do the research, and look for the jobs that actually fit you. Now, personal pet peeve I see on the corporate side, as you know, I work with a lot of founders and C-suite. Do not use AI to tailor your resume to a job description without making sure you qualify for that job. I have seen AI actually create very wonderful resumes that are complete works of fiction, and then people raise their hand when they get busted and they say, sorry, that's what ChatGPT told me to write. That doesn't make it right. It makes it lazy. So this is where I would say you got to do a little bit of homework. Think of it like a sniper. You're waiting for the right shot. You're not just taking out massive effort and hoping for the best. We don't hope, we know, we aim. So you can visit their website, but the key here is if you're looking to work at a company, check out Life. They don't all have it, but the good ones do. So you can see what it's like to work at NVIDIA. And by the way, if I was younger and could be employable, I would love to work at a company like NVIDIA. And then this is the part I want you to look at is the people. So if you want to work for a company, come here. There's 46,000 associated members. That's a lot. But what I do is I come and I will look for somebody in the area that I want to work. And usually, if I can't find anybody, I will look at the C-suite of the company, and I'll also look at younger people, and I love looking at their social media people. But basically, you'll see all of these you can connect directly with. I'll leave it to you if you want to do that or not. I generally don't start with that. What I usually do is let's just see more. Okay. So I like information technologies guy. He sounds like he'd be fun. He's not formal, so he and I might get along. What I do is I'll click on their name. And again, I could connect. I don't start there. But what I'll do is I will follow them, just like I did the company. And then I'll click on the notifications. Now, I don't need to meet, you know what? I'm going to leave technology guy. For what it's worth, he's not overly active, but he works at NVIDIA. He's probably got some interesting stuff. Oh, I stand corrected. He hasn't posted, but hi, Clayton. Thermal engineering tech. I bet I know somebody out there who needs to know him. So there you go. But basically, what I do is I will follow them, and most people will go straight to connect. I follow for a bit and I watch the posts that they make. And here's where it gets unique. I comment on their posts. Now, for clarity, I'm not using AI garbage. So if you're one of those, I'm going to create AI comments and spam the universe, please don't. I will tell you that the grown-ups in the room, we can smell generic AI slop, and it actually offends us. So when you post crap comments, you're going to get crap reactions. So please don't do that. But seriously, read their post and share your thoughts on it sincerely. And if your thoughts are good and well organized, because again, you're applying for the job, not your AI, be you. And if they don't like you, that's okay. But the thing is, if you're truly yourself and they like you, you're more likely to get hired. Now, once I've built a bit of a relationship with somebody on one of these companies in a role I'm interested in, I would message them. So again, I've engaged with their content. I've shared what I think of it, given them my feedback, my thoughts. And then sometimes they will connect with me, which is wonderful, but sometimes they don't. And so if we've had a bit of a dialogue, I will send them a direct message. And I forget who it was. I think it was Clayton. Hi, Clayton. We don't know one another yet. I'm curious about working at NVIDIA, and I was wondering if you could help me by answering a question. Key is one question. You're not going to go blah. You're not going to send them your resume. They don't care. You're just going to say, I'm curious what has been the greatest thing, or ask them one question you're truly curious about. If you care about the environment, ask how they impact the environment. This is your chance to look for common threads. But basically, if you actively help, I want you to understand you're searching for a job and you look at this giant wall of a company and you see everybody there as a means to an end, getting you in the door. I promise if that's your approach, they will all notice and will not want to help you. But if you say, I'm a fan of this company, I'm really interested in it, I want to understand the community. If you're actively, genuinely interested in what they're doing, they'll want to help. And again, don't start with, I intend to get a job. Obviously, that is your end goal, but you need to connect with the humans. And if you connect with the right ones, they, again, you'll know you're adding value if they say, hey, how can I help you? So that's my approach. And again, this is me as an entrepreneur. If my boys, I have 2 teenagers, if they wanted to find a job, this is how we would be sitting down and doing an organized job search. So again, what companies do you want to work with? What roles do you want to be in? And let's not forget the reality. What geography? Are you remote? Are you hybrid? Are you looking to move? Are you looking for a job in your community? The more clear you are, the better your search will be always. And by the way, I get people saying, well, I don't know what I don't know. I just want a job. Well, in that case, start in the mailroom. I know that's cliche, but really get your foot in the door of a company and learn everything you can and earn promotions. Now, I don't know if mailrooms still exist. I hope not, but there's always entry level. I see a lot of internships and stuff. And I know if you're an adult with family responsibilities, unpaid internships probably aren't in your cards. I'm not being callous and telling you to take it anyways, but if you're young and ambitious and you want to get into a big company, start wherever you can get in and earn your way up the top. So that's my little rant. I hope that was useful. If it is, feel free to share with others. If it's not, I'm sorry, this was meant to serve, but give me feedback below and let me know what you tried, what worked, what didn't. And this is how I'm going to mentor. I'll mentor through this particular LinkedIn post. Thank you.